award-winning actor, successful entrepreneur, and best-selling author on raw food and nutrition. She was the host of A Healthy You with Carol Alt on Fox News Channel, which ran for several years, and she actually interviewed Ty and RSB back in 2014. Carol is a huge proponent of raw food nutrition and lectures frequently on this topic. And that's exactly what she's going to bring to you today, raw food. Please help us to welcome Carol Alt to the stage. Welcome, Carol.
Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I want to thank Ty and Charlene and Bryce, Brianna, Tabitha, and Charity, their kids, for actually talking me into coming to speak today. I also want to thank my manager for making the time in my schedule. Mary Beth Gonzalez, who actually, oops, I have to do this, actually did my thingy here. How do I do this? Oh, it's on the side, okay. So Mary Beth Gonzalez, Dr. Nicholas Gonzalez, one of my gurus, put this together for me, and my girlfriend Sophia Crustins for bringing my service kitties to my room last night because I was very nervous about speaking. It's been about, I think about 8 years since I've spoken last, and I said to Charlene, I said, you know, I think that everybody knows about nutrition now. Everybody knows about raw food. Isn't that kind of an old topic? And Charlene said to me, well, you know, I don't think so. I think that in reality, people don't know anything about nutrition because they're confused. There's so much information out there, there's so much going on, there's so many different diets, and there's so much happening in the health and nutrition world that maybe we just need somebody who has been through it all. And I've been through it all. And I live to tell about it. And believe me, that was no easy feat. I know you're gonna look at me and say, oh, supermodel. That's just a title. Underneath this, I am a woman who struggled with health issues since she was a kid and who's now struggling with this thing to move on. Now, why is it not going? Oh, there it is. Okay, so my raw story. So here I was, the daughter of firemen, off of Long Island, a chubby little thing, or as my mother put it, I was zoftic. That was a very polite way of putting that I was kind of fat. But I was in the Army, Army ROTC. Yes, thank you for our troops. And, you know, my boyfriend broke up with me, and I had to get off Long Island. So I went into the city, was discovered by an agent, and started modeling, and knew nothing about health and nutrition. I was just this fat little teenager who needed to lose weight back in the late 70s, early 80s, but nobody really knew anything about nutrition. So what did I do? I stopped eating. That seemed the easiest way to lose the weight, and I did. I lost 50 pounds. 50 pounds. When I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, this was one of the shots from Sports Illustrated, I was 115 pounds and 5'11". And I had done that simply by not eating. And that wasn't the easiest thing to do because I wasn't going out to dinner. When we broke for lunch, I didn't go to the lunch table. I had no social life. But I didn't know what to eat. I grew up on pizza. I grew up on Chinese food. I worked at a bakery. Thank you very much. I put on about 20 pounds at one point. And I thought, you know, that was the way life was supposed to be. Just stop eating. And then I fainted on set. And thank goodness, I'm not sure if it was Elle McPherson who was here last night or Kelly Emberg. Somebody picked me up off the set. And I just kept going my very merry way, thinking that if I don't eat, I will just stay skinny. The issue with that was that by the time I was 35, I was shooting in the Amazon rainforest, supermodels in the rainforest, and I didn't like what I looked like anymore. I had no energy. I was hiding behind rocks to be shot. It was Carol Alt and friends in the rainforest, and I was the only one they weren't photographing. I saw this 22-year-old girl who was jumping around and so much energy, and she just felt so good in her skin. And I was looking at her thinking, what happened? I started out like that at 22 or 23, and now at 35, I have no energy. I feel tired and bloated. I could see the changes. I could see the wrinkles coming, the gray hair, the inability to lose weight, all those things. I was taking Tums. Here we go. I was taking Tums to take care of my indigestion, and yes, I was starting my day off with a scotch and coffee, and sometimes a bran muffin, and sometimes a pizza bread, and by the way, it's all kind of the same thing because it's all sugar. So I was living on caffeine and sugar. I had hypoglycemia. I started getting really bad allergies again, and I thought, wow, I'm in a business of young, beautiful people who are coming up and usurping jobs from me. I really need to do something here to save my career. A friend of mine called me and said, you're the healthiest person I know, which almost like knocked me over. I rolled my eyes, but he couldn't see me because he was on the phone. And I'm like, really? I'm the healthiest person you know? If I'm the healthiest person this guy knows, we're really in trouble. I'm like, I'm having all of these issues, but okay, tell me what your story is. He said, I'm working with a doctor. My girlfriend had, they wanted to do a radical hysterectomy, a radical infectomy on her because she was covered in cancer. And I just thought there has to be a better way than this. So I brought it to my friend who was a doctor. I was editing his video, and I thought, let's see what we could do. After 6 months, she got a negative diagnosis. But that was positive. I mean, she was clean. And I thought, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't want to listen to another person that comes through what we used to call a studio pipeline. It would be one guy who would get into all the models and all the photographers and rip them all off. And I thought, whatever. And I hung up the phone. And then this little voice, this little voice inside me said, you know what? You're sitting here praying for something new and different to happen. You've tried every diet, from the Beverly Hills diet. I mean, there's nothing worse than frozen blueberries when they're out of season. Beverly Hills diet. You've tried Weight Watchers, which doesn't work if you're a very busy person running around, because you can't be counting calories and all this kind of stuff. You've tried starving, but you are not healthy. You're skinny, but not healthy, and it's starting to take a toll. So I was like, all right, what have I got to lose? Picked up the phone, called this doctor, left a message. He called me back and he said, so tell me what it is you eat. I was like, what? You're not going to ask me what's wrong or why I'm calling you? No. Just want to know what you eat. And I thought, wow, this is a real wake-up call. Nobody's ever asked me what I eat. So I told him. Start my day with scotch and coffee. By 11 o'clock, I'm eating the nacho chips. When I'm on a really feeling skinny day, I have a turkey hero. And by the way, I did pasta for dinner, but with tomato sauce because I'm a model and I need to stay skinny and I can't have any of that cream stuff. And he was on the other end. When he finished laughing, I was like, really? He goes, well, I think you have this, and this problem. I was like, oh my gosh, of all the problems in the world that this guy could list that I had, he pegged my top 6, like my only 6. And I said, okay, you got my attention. You got my attention, because if you can sit on the other side of a phone line and tell me what's wrong with me from what I'm eating, then you must know something. So I went to visit him, and he started teaching me about food. But not just food. He started teaching me about the pathology of food in the body. He was teaching me something that, for me, opened up the universe.